What is up, F and true followers, wrestling fans, and members of the YWC? JC Styles here with the F brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com with the Friday Night Smackdown review for April 27, 2012. Smackdown went off the air just moments ago. I want to briefly talk about what happened tonight on Smackdown, then get this up for you guys to watch in case you weren't able to, and for those that were able to, leave your thoughts and what you thought of tonight's Smackdown in the comment box below. We start off the show with Daniel Bryan coming out, doing his normal yes as he walks down, gets to the ring, walks in the ring and exclaims that he did it. He cut the quote-unquote umbilical cord that was AJ. Uh, then went on to say that the 18-second loss at WrestleMania should not be counted and it should be stricken from the records or given to AJ for his loss at WrestleMania. Bryan then said that being the referee on Monday, he promised that he would call it down the middle. We see a video package from this past Monday night where Daniel Bryan fast counted Sheamus's shoulders to the mat. We then come back as he's pretty much poking fun at Sheamus and then is interrupted by Alberto Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio comes out and says that after this Sunday's Extreme Rules, no matter what happens, if Daniel Bryan wins or loses, he will be the new #1 contender. They do a Spanish version of the Daniel Bryan yes, which is C. The fans start, really getting behind it, going back and forth, C, yes, and then Big Show comes out and says, well, what is it? Is it C or is it yes? Kind of, playing the goofball of the segment. We then go into Big Show getting ready to hit the WMD on Daniel Bryan. He jumps out of the ring. The same thing for Alberto Del Rio. We see Ricardo try to run out of the ring and is grabbed by the Big Show. Big Show then asks Ricardo, is it yes or is it C? And Ricardo doesn't really reply. He just mumbles. Big Show says wrong answer and then pretty much choke slams him, which, don't get me wrong, I love when stuff happens to Ricardo Rodriguez. I don't know if any of you guys find it very funny. I just think it's always nice to have that comic relief in the show, and unfortunately tonight Ricardo was that. We then come back from a commercial. We see Alberto Del Rio and the Big Show getting it on in the ring, wrestling-wise. It was a pretty good, solid match. Then we see Cody Rhodes jump in for the second week in a row, get involved, and cost Big Show the match. Sorry, did not cost Big Show the match. Actually got Big Show disqualified, which he won the match. And pretty much they basically tried to take it to the Big Show. Cody Rhodes went and grabbed a kendo stick and a steel chair. And neither one of those tactics worked. And then he attempted to try to whip the Big Show, but ran into a big boot, and then Big Show whooped him with a leather belt to end the segment. Backstage, we see Laurinaitis talking with Eve. They're going back and forth. That says Eve needs to feel out everything and get used to being in power. And then she recommends having all the crew members wear name tags. Then Teddy Long comes up and says that we see Laurinaitis talk to Teddy, and Teddy says, oh, you're going to be calling a match later on tonight down at the ringside area, and that pretty much basically just treating Teddy Long like pure garbage, treating him like a slave. And then we see Eve say, oh, can you go get your name tag? We then go back to a Cole and Booker T talking about the Divas title match from this Monday night where Beth Phoenix got hurt and lost the title to Nikki Bella. Then they went on to announce later in the night that Beth Phoenix has invoked her rematch clause for this Sunday at Extreme Rules. We then go to a Damian Sandow segment. Sandow quoted Buddha and said that, quote, that the greatest gift you could give someone else is your enlightenment. He then mentioned the age of enlightenment, including Voltaire and Isaac Newton, and said they advanced society with the ideas of knowledge. He said in the WWE there are false idols worshipped by fans for their lowbrow music and their self-absorption. He said in 1 week the age of enlightenment in the WWE begins with him. We then go into go back from commercial. We see Alicia Fox standing in the ring, and we get ready to see Nikki Bella take on Alicia Fox. Pretty good, solid match by Nikki and Alicia Fox. Not gonna sugarcoat it. It was a solid match. I enjoyed it. We see Twin Magic take place. Bree jumps in the ring for Nikki. I'm sorry, behind the referee's back and finishes off the match to end this non-title match. Cole then puts over an interview for Randy Orton later in the show. We then go backstage after the commercial, and we see Yoshitatsu getting ready for his match, and basically Titus O'Neil and Darren Young are racial profiling and basically joking and making fun of Yoshitatsu, and asks who's his tag team partner going to be. Ezekiel Jackson walks up and says, he may not be able to understand you, but I do, and I don't like what I'm hearing. You want to know who his tag team partner is? It's going to be me. And then we see the two walk off. We then go back to our Laurinaitis spot. Teddy Stampered in with cleaning John Laurinaitis' office. Then Oksana comes in, and then John Laurinaitis comes in not long after that and says that he is granting Oksana's wish for a tryout match with Antonio Cesaro. We then see she seemed happy and walked off after she is announced that she will be the ring announcer, and Teddy will be sitting out at ringside as a commentator. Teddy then John Laurinaitis then told Teddy that he will have a microphone feeding what Teddy is going to say during his commentating. We then see a good solid. Then we go to commercial. We come back and we see Yoshitatsu and Ezekiel Jackson taking on Titus O'Neil and Darren Young. It was definitely a good match. Really, really, really different to see, Yoshitatsu and Ezekiel Jackson as a tag team, just because they're two completely different style type wrestlers. Yoshitatsu is more of a fast-paced, athletic, and Ezekiel Jackson is more of a slower pace but brute strength type of a brawler. And it was definitely good to see these two in the ring. But we didn't even get to see Ezekiel Jackson get in. They basically great tag teaming on the behalf of Titus and Darren Young, and just basically isolated Yoshitatsu, picking up the win for the team. We then see Cole talking about. We then see Michael Cole plugging his interview with Randy Orton, which was up next. Then basically, to sum this promo up real quick, Orton turned around and said that everyone says that Kane's a monster, and Kane doesn't realize what kind of a monster I have in me. And pretty much then he talks about the Extreme Rules match with Kane and is interrupted by Jinder Mahal, and Jinder Mahal is left laying out by an RKO. We then see Oksana in the ring introducing Antonio Cesaro versus Tyson Kidd. They tie up in the corner. It was a quick match. Cesaro quickly took over the match, stomped on Tyson Kidd, picked up the win, hit a European uppercut. Cesaro then picked up Kidd for a pile driver, then cradled him, and pretty much that was a wrap for the match. After the match, Teddy was instructed to get in the ring and raise the hand of Antonio Cesaro. He gets in the ring, he raises his hand, and then Oksana starts to kiss Antonio, which we see Teddy Long start to tear up and leave the ring to end the segment. We then move into the next match. We see the Great Khali taking on Cody Rhodes. Cody attacked the leg of the Great Khali last week in London, and then pretty much just got thrown around this whole entire match. We then see the Great Khali pick up the win after hitting the Punjabi plunge. We then see AEW Abraham Washington talking to the tag team champs in Rosa, and then we see him say, "I need an answer by Monday." Ryback comes walking by, looks to the four of them, and then just continues walking. We see Abraham Washington eyeing Ryback up and down and basically trying to get his attention because I believe he wants to be the manager of Ryback. We then go to commercial. Then we come back from a commercial and we see Ryback in the ring. Pretty quick match. Like always, we see him take a local on, and the local basically says, "Hey, look, you know what? I'm going to be the first one to get a win over Ryback," and he just got completely mauled. We then move into the last match of the night. Sorry, excuse me, which was Sheamus versus Mark Henry. Now, this was a great match. It was a good finish to SmackDown. It definitely was a great match just because these two guys have such almost so much of a same similar style. Sheamus has a little bit more athleticism because he's a smaller of a guy and he can move a lot quicker. Mark Henry is known for his his strength, his power, and it was just a really good, solid match. We see Sheamus hit the bro kick for the win, lays him straight out. And it's weird to see someone like Sheamus with one shot laying out Mark Henry, because over the last several months you've seen Mark Henry on a dominant streak, not really losing many matches. I would like to see what they could do with Mark Henry, maybe against Brodus Clay, or maybe against someone like a Lord Tensai. You know, put them in the ring. Put them in the ring against somebody that they can help build up a little bit more, and maybe just see what they can do with Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. We then, after the match, we see Daniel Bryan appeared on the ramp. Sheamus invited him into the ring. Daniel Bryan shook his head no. Then Daniel Bryan made the expression. He then asked if he was afraid of going to get kicked in the face off in 18 seconds again. And that Sheamus said that the question is, will he kick his ass and remain the World Heavyweight Champion? And basically, to end the show, Sheamus started to chant the yes with the World Heavyweight title, just chanting yes, yes, yes. And the fans ate it up, chanted yes, yes, yes back. And that's how we ended Friday Night SmackDown. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to stay tuned for our Extreme Rules predictions. Also, please stay tuned for our Extreme Rules review and any other news and updates that we put out. Also, me and Brian are sitting down and brainstorming on what we could do to make F and True Wrestling better. We want to start getting back into the fan interaction with you guys, maybe a Q&A. We definitely love interacting with you, our viewers, our fans, because at the end of the day, Brian said it numerous times, I've said it numerous times, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for our viewers. Now, we want to try to get to 2,000 by the end of this year. Hopefully, we can pick up some new subscribers. Guys, make sure you check out all the channels that make up the Effin brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com. Currently, the one you are watching, Effin True Wrestling, Effin True Entertainment, the Effin True Click. Also, Brian's exclusive channel where he will be uploading exclusive content, reviews, and concept videos at Fight Nation Wrestling. Also, be able to check out the official website of the Effin brand at fightnationwrestling.com. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back Sunday night.